Things K-pop stans do that annoy me more than Cassie Howard. Number 1, when K-pop stans are literally overly critical about K-pop. I just realized, like, many days later, that the word I'm looking for is nitpicking and being too negative. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't like it when K-pop stans are very nitpicky and just too negative. I do think that being critical about K-pop songs is important, because if not, companies can churn out hot garbage and fans will stream it and it'll get lots of music show wins. Not saying that it's not happening, it is, but I feel like even when a song is good and fun, people have to pick it apart left and right and talk about why it's bad and, I don't know, just trash on it. And I'm like, okay, if you did not like the song, that's perfectly fine. We all have our different opinions and you can express not liking a song. But sometimes people just over exaggerate and dramatize a song not being to their taste means that K-pop is ruined or K-pop is over or destroyed or K-pop will never be as good. See it so often, and I've been seeing this for years, and I personally don't get this mindset. But that's just me. Of course, I do miss when K-pop was dominated by cute concepts, because I adore cute concepts, and just because girl crush is dominating, I don't think girl crush is ruining K-pop just because it's like not my favorite thing right now. Because girl crush, it all depends on execution. There are some girl crush groups that do the girl crush really well, and I love it, and I love those groups. It's not just about like the concept, but there's also genre. I remember in 2017, people were like, oh my god, Tropical House is ruining K-pop, and then Tropical House disappeared. And then I think a year or two ago, people were like, oh my god, Retro is ruining K-pop. But I'm like, really? Was Retro really ruining K-pop? Like, yes, there was an oversaturation of it, but it was still a lot of fun, and I really enjoy a lot of retro K-pop songs. Anyway, I hope I got my point across. Of course, if a song is hollow, shallow, empty of a shell of a song, like I can think of a bunch that were popular from last year that got a lot of music show wins and topped the charts. So yeah, criticize those songs. But when a song is being fun and had a lot of passion and compassion being put into it, I just don't understand why people are like tearing it apart just because, why, it's popular. So yeah, I hope I got that across. Next one, and that is labeling everything as problematic. This really annoys me, and it's one of the reasons why I quit Twitter. Because people just see something and they're like, that's problematic. And everybody must bandwagon and hating on that idol. And here's the thing, let the people affected speak first before you jump on that idol. That's what I'm saying. Because I see so many people speaking for these communities and they're not even part of them. And they're like, oh, that's definitely cultural appropriation, or that's definitely Islamophobic. That's definitely anti-black. And I'm like, I don't know. And these tweets would get like tens and thousands of retweets and whatnot. But that's all I wanted to say on that. Moving on. The next we have is guilt-tripping people within the fandom to stream or vote. Oh my god, I have encountered this so much, and I'm not just talking about my specific fandoms, but I've witnessed how people within the fandom just love guilt-tripping people within the fandom to like stream and vote, being like, oh, if you don't, stream the music video 10 times a day on your different devices and create a YouTube playlist and put the music videos in that playlist and stream, then all of a sudden you are at fault if your favorite group or artist does not get a music show win or does not top the charts. And I'm like, there's so much I can do. Like, I've done it all. I've streamed on the Melon thing with the Melon passes. I've streamed music videos. I've done all of that when I had the time for it. Sadly, unfortunately, I do not have the time for it right now. My support to a K-pop artist is only to buying the album, streaming it on Spotify, which is obviously illegally, and watching the music video. That's all I can do. And sometimes if I do have the time, I am not like busy, then of course I will vote for the artist or something like that. But it just so annoys me when people within the fandom are like, oh, our favorite group or artist lost the music show, or we didn't chart as high, then it's all your fault because you did not stream or you did not vote. And I get it, it feels awful, okay? I have stanned a lot of underrated groups where streaming, voting, it gets really frustrating when the group does not win. But it's like, you cannot just blame the people who love and support these artists and attack them for it. That's what I have to say. Anyway, moving on, because people, they don't have time to stream and vote, okay? I am almost 25. I literally have other priorities than K-pop right now. K-pop is a hobby. It's not a job for me. Another thing I don't like is when people constantly refer about how a group peaked. Like, I keep hearing people say, oh, ITZY peaked at debut. And I'm like, what even? What even? Because I swear in a couple of years, people will be like, oh, Loco by ITZY or In the Morning by ITZY. They don't make songs like these anymore. Like, you bet your ass people are gonna say this in the future. And I'm like, come on, ITZY, they're only like, what, 2, 3? You have no idea. They could have their biggest hit song this year or next year, maybe in 2, 3 years. You've got Brave Girls who literally blew up with their last song, Rollin'. A lot of people thought Oh My Girl peaked at Closer or Secret Garden, and then they blew up in Korea with Nonstop. So it's like, you never know. And I get so sick and tired when people are like, oh, this group, they peaked at debut. Oh, this group, they're like irrelevant or anything like that. It's like, you don't know. Like, these groups have hardly made their mark in K-pop. Like, they're still pretty new, okay? Let's wait a couple of more years before we talk about when a group peaked or when a group flopped, you know? Which segues me into the next one, which is calling groups or idols flops. I don't know, I personally find that to be really disrespectful. Like, you could say that, oh, like, I could say something like, oh, Rush by Monsta X, that flopped, unlike Hero by Monsta X. I don't think that is that, you know, offensive to say, because it's a song. A song does not necessarily have feelings or anything like that. But you're near like, oh, this group flopped, or this group is flopping, or, you know, that group is a flop because they did not reach 100 million views in a day, or this group is a flop. I'm like, I feel like a group flops when they don't do as well as their previous comeback or releases. I don't like using the word flop. I kind of find it disrespectful, but people are so accustomed to it. And again, I'm not telling you what you cannot say or what you cannot say. It's just what I personally don't like. Word I prefer is underperforming, if anything, which is a nicer way of saying it. But yeah, I just don't like it when people like use flops when it talks about people. I find that to be really discouraging. Yeah, you can say a song flopped, okay, but when a person or people, I don't know, I personally don't like it. Then again, people are gonna disagree with me. That's what the internet is for. Go ahead, I don't care. And then lastly, oh my god, I got hate for saying this like a long time ago, and that is, I don't like blind company stans. I just do not. I don't get it, okay? People who like defend the company even when they're doing like really awful things just because their favorite artist is from that company. Like, it just drives me up a wall. Like, why are you so up the asses of these K-pop companies? Like, they want nothing from you but your hard-earned money. Exactly. And sometimes they don't even give that money properly to your favorite artist. Like, you don't know. So yeah, there are companies that I like, but it's only because of the artists and the producers probably working in the company, like Starship or Woolam. Yeah, I would say that when it comes to music-wise, like, Starship has been like consistently good. So yeah, but it doesn't mean that I like love and support everything that Starship does. Like, I don't care about Starship. I care about Monsta X. I care about WGS, and I like IVE and Boyfriend also. Like, love them. I mean, yeah, Starship has done a lot of good things, but they've also done a lot of questionable things. Anyway, I just don't get why people just actively love defending companies, and that when a K-pop fan says they are not fan of a certain company, these fans take it to heart. Like, I personally don't get it. But then again, I could be too old for this. I also don't like when second gen or third gen K-pop stans talk about how the new K-pop is bad and it sucks. I feel like the reason why people just write off fourth gen as a whole as being bad is because they were so used to a particular sound and style that dominated when they got into K-pop, and they're very nostalgic about it. That's why they're very fond of those K-pop songs, even if there are many second gen and third gen K-pop songs that also equally sucked. But because they're so nostalgic about those K-pop songs, they constantly have to talk down about the newer stuff, which I just am not personally a fan of. Like, every time I watch a second gen music video or a third gen music video, people in the comments are always like, oh, they don't make songs like these anymore. It's like so annoying. It's like hearing your dad talk about, oh, how music from the 60s and 70s were the best and everything released now is crap. It's so freaking annoying. I also don't need second and third gen K-pop stans to talk about it. Like, for me personally, third gen is my absolute favorite, but I'm pretty aware of the fact that it's because I got into K-pop due to third gen, and I have so many fun memories of being into third gen groups and liking third gen music. That does not mean that I think fourth gen is crap or that there is no good in fourth gen, because there's so much good in fourth gen. Love So Sweet by Cherry Bullet, So Bad by Stacy, everything that TXT does. There are such good songs. And yeah, and it's so fucking annoying. Did I swear? That is so out of character for me. Yeah, but it's so annoying. Okay, bye. Yeah, those are all the K-pop things that K-pop stans do that annoy me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty sure there's way more than this, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to vent a bit. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Are you still here? Bye-bye.